Welcome. Today we're diving into three fundamental concepts in statistics: mean, median, and mode. These are all measures of central tendency, which help us summarize and understand large sets of data by identifying a central point. Whether you're analyzing exam scores, sales numbers, or survey results, knowing how to use these concepts is essential. In this video, we'll break down what each term means, how to calculate them, and when to use each one. Let's start by understanding why averages matter in the first place. Mean, often called the average, is probably the most familiar measure of central tendency. To find the mean, you simply add up all the numbers in your data set and then divide by the total number of values. For example, if you have test scores of 70, 80, and 90, the mean would be 7 plus 80 plus 90 divided by 3, which equals 80. The mean gives you a sense of the overall level of your data, but it can be affected by extremely high or low values known as outliers. Let's walk through a quick example of calculating the mean. Imagine you have 5 numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. First, add them together. 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10 equals 30. Next, count how many numbers there are, which is 5. Finally, divide the total sum by the number of values. 30 divided by 5 equals 6, so the mean of this data set is 6. This simple calculation is widely used in everyday life, from finding average grades to determining average expenses. Now let's move on to the median. The median is the middle value in a data set when the numbers are arranged in order. If there's an odd number of values, the median is the one right in the center. If there's an even number, you take the two middle numbers and find their average. The median is especially useful when your data has outliers, as it isn't affected by extremely high or low values like the mean can be. See how to find the median with an example. Suppose you have the numbers 3, 7, 9, 12, and 15. First, arrange them in order which they already are. Since there are 5 numbers, the third one, 9, is the median. If you had 6 numbers like 3, 7, 9, 12, 15, and 18, you take the two middle numbers 9 and 12, add them together to get 21, and then divide by 2, resulting in a median of 10.5. Mode is the value that appears most frequently in a data set. Unlike the mean and median, there can be more than one mode if several values tie for the highest frequency, or there may be no mode at all if all values are unique. The mode is especially helpful for categorical data or when you want to know which item or number is most common in your set. Let's look at an example to identify the mode. Imagine you have the numbers 2, 4, 4, 6, 8, and 8. Here both 4 and 8 appear twice more than any other number. That means this data set is bimodal, having two modes, 4 and 8. If every number appeared only once, there would be no mode. The mode can be especially useful in scenarios like finding the most popular product size or the most common survey response. Now that we've defined mean, median, and mode, let's compare them. Each measure tells us something different about our data. The mean gives us the overall average, the median shows the middle point, and the mode highlights the most common value. Depending on the data's distribution and the presence of outliers, one measure may be more informative than the others. Understanding these differences helps you choose the right tool for your analysis. Mean is best used when your data is evenly distributed without extreme outliers. For example, if you're calculating the average height of a group of people and everyone's height is fairly similar, the mean gives a good representation. However, if there are a few unusually tall or short individuals, the mean might not reflect the typical height accurately. Always check your data's spread before relying solely on the mean. Median is especially useful when your data set contains outliers or is skewed. For instance, when looking at incomes in a city, a few very high earners can raise the mean, making it seem like everyone earns more than they actually do. The median, being the middle value, isn't affected by these extremes and gives a better sense of what a typical person earns. This makes the median a preferred choice in many real-world situations. Mode is ideal when you want to know the most common value, especially with categorical or discrete data. For example, if you're analyzing shoe sizes sold in a store, the mode tells you which size is most popular. It's also useful in surveys where you want to see the most frequent response. Remember, the mode doesn't always exist, and sometimes there can be more than one mode in your dataset. Visual aids can make these concepts clearer. Imagine a simple bar chart showing the frequency of numbers in a dataset. The mean might be marked with a line, the median with another, and the mode highlighted as the tallest bar. Seeing these on a graph helps you understand how they relate and why they might differ, especially when the data is skewed or has outliers. It's important to be aware of common pitfalls when using mean, median, and mode. For example, relying only on the mean in a skewed dataset can give a misleading impression. Similarly, using the mode with continuous data might not be meaningful if all values are unique. Always consider the nature of your data and choose the measure that best represents what you want to know. Mean, median, and mode are used in countless real-life situations. Businesses use the mean to track average sales, schools use the median to report typical test scores, and retailers use the mode to stock the most popular products. Understanding these concepts helps you interpret data more accurately and make better decisions, whether you're a student, professional, or just curious about the world around you. To wrap up, mean, median, and mode are essential tools for summarizing and understanding data. Each has its strengths and is suited to different types of data and questions. By knowing when and how to use each measure, you can gain deeper insights and avoid common mistakes. Thanks for watching, and remember, the right average can make all the difference in your analysis.